Hey everyone, it's Stacy from Totally Twisted Cards. Wanted to share with you today what I made for my latest charm swap that I entered into. And this charm swap was a Halloween themed charm swap over on Life on the Scrap Beach, hosted by Crystal. Hi Crystal, thanks for hosting such a wonderful charm swap. Halloween is my absolute favorite holiday, so I could not pass this one up. So, we were to make four of them, so I've made four of my charms and your tag. Now the tag requirement for this was that it had to open or that it was a little mini insert to go inside of a scrapbook mini. Now I have to confess I went a little overboard because I love Halloween so much that I really wanted to do something that was a spell or a potions book, something book related I kind of wanted to do. And I know it's probably a little bigger than it should be, but I'm sure everybody will appreciate that I went a little overboard and embellished it so much. So I think another requirement was we had to have three embellishments on our tag or our mini insert, and that we had to have 7 dangles on our charms, and that we had to use the Tim Holtz swivel charm, and we had to use glass beads, and we had to have 3 Halloween themed charms. So I've done more than that on all of mine, and I'll show you how I went about creating this. So first I wanted to show you was how I'm packaging them. These two aren't packaged yet. I left them out so that I could do this video. But this is how they would be packaged. We're to put them in a bag. So I just bought these clear cello bags from my Walmart, or not my Walmart, my Michaels. They're a little too big, so my little trick is just to run the glue tape down the side and make them fit. And then I did put this designer paper on the top here, and I made a little card with my name and some information on it, and then put this ribbon up in the corner there. So that is how I just decided to package each one of my charms. That way, in case something comes loose in shipping, they'll know which charm, which swap that came from. So that's my packaging. And this is what it looks like with the charm on it. And my original thought was that this Tim Holtz swivel clasp here will hang on this skeleton's hand, and it does without a problem, as you can see with this one. So it does hang there without a problem when you go to display them. I was afraid that it might pull the hand off during shipping, so rather than attach it to the top there, what I decided to do was to put a ribbon, just to hang it with a ribbon right there. So ladies, when you get them, feel free to put the charm clasp over the hand on the book. And I did put mine on it and sat it upright, because these will stand upright so you can display them. I know it doesn't really show much of the front here on the video, but they do stand just fine that way. And I had it for over a week hanging off the hand of mine, and it did not pull the hand off at all. I'm just afraid in shipping with the boxes being thrown around and stuff that it might pull that hand off of there. So that's what that looks like. So I'll go ahead and go over my spells and potions book with you, and how I created it, and what papers that I used with it. So let me zoom in a little. Okay. So I've never done one of these before. Did a little bit of research and kind of brainstormed and came up with the idea to do this. Now, I did use my Cricut. I have a Cricut, and I have the Sure Cuts a Lot software, and I just designed the actual book myself just by using the shapes that came with the software. So I actually made a rectangle, and then I cut out these spine pieces, and then I used some arrows and connected the arrows on both sides to give me the design for my book, and I think that came out really well. I cut this out with chipboard. The chipboard that I use is just cereal boxes. I save up all my cereal boxes and I use them as my chipboard. So each one of these pieces, this book right here, this is supposed to look like leather, like old leather. So there's a leather strap there, and then there's the spine of the book. Now, for the covering of the book itself, all I did was take lunch bags, I rolled them up real tight, and then I flattened them out, and then I used my Scotch adhesive, and I went and glued that down to the face of the book. Okay? And that wrinkling it up like that gives you this nice aged leather look. And then I took 3 Tim Holtz colors, which are these 3, the walnut stain, the tea dye, and the vintage photo. I start with the tea dye and I distress it, and then I move on to the vintage photo and I distress it some more, and then I just lightly go over the high parts of the wrinkles in that walnut stain, and it'll give you this great leather, old leather look. Then I took the same 3 dyes and went over these chipboard pieces too. Now, to glue those down to the book, I knew it had to be pretty sturdy, so I used my glossy accents. This stuff's great for paper on paper, in addition to gluing other things together. But it's a super good hold for this. I did it on the spine and then on these look like leather buckles or whatever. And then for the actual book labeling, I use this Nestabilities number 5, and I believe it was this one and this one, and cut those out just out of purple cardstock. And then I have some cardstock that looks like manila file folder, and I used that. And then I took this would have been the vintage photo and inked around it, and then for that one I have the Dusty Concord Tim Holtz Distress Stain. Use that to ink up and distress around that. And then I ordered these hands off of eBay. I wasn't paying attention to the size they were and didn't realize they were so big. I was going to use them on the charms themselves, and when they came in I realized how big they were, and immediately thought, well, that'd be pretty cool to put around the book, and then to make that as where the dangles would, the charm would hang from. So that's what I did. They come like this. I cut off that round piece where you're supposed to hang it to a charm, and then as you can see, I went and took 2 gems and took the clear glossy accents and used that to glue those gems down on the, to give it some color in its eyes. And my color scheme for the entire book, as well as the charms, was to use the black, the purple, and the orange. So I used orange eyes in there. And then I knew I needed something pretty sturdy to glue that to the book, since I wanted to hang the charm off of it. So I used the E600 to glue that down. So that gave me my book and the outside of the book. And then I found some papers online that were spell book like pages. So I just shrunk those down to size and made those as my insert pages in here. So I wanted to continue that theme of the spell book, potion book throughout. So on the side I made a tag holder. Whoop. And the stamps that I used on that were from Hampton Arts. Well, the spider was from Hampton Arts. It's this one right here. And then the, I don't know if I still have it on my desk. I don't think I do. But I just used one of those blocks like this. Not actually this one, but I have another one. It's just a dollar stamp that I got from Michaels that says Spooky. And just stamp that on the bottom. And then the tag on the inside is actually from Teresa Collins. Is this Teresa Collins? I'm not sure whose paper pad this is. This came from that pad, and I just put a ribbon on the top, and you could put a photo on the one side, or in the back there too. So that just slides in there like that. And then on this side, I went and I distressed all the pages. Not only did I ink them, but I also took my Tim Holtz distresser and distressed around the edges of all that too. Cut out in that same paper pad, it had little labels for bottles and stuff, so I cut one out, inked that up with the black soot from Tim Holtz, and put that down. And then I just recently got this die from Sizzix, so it's that one, and glued that down. And then on the top of that I glued one of my flowers, and I make these flowers myself using this Sizzix die, which is just, there are 4 size circles on there, and I just used the 3 largest sizes on there. And I buy satin fabric, and then I just run that through my Big Shot, and then use the hot glue gun. Oh, and then sorry, when you make these, you use a lighter or a candle or something, and you heat the back side around the edges, and it makes that curl up into a really pretty flower. And then in the center I put, it's a Recollections gems. They come in a pack like this, and I just put one in the center of that to give it some elegance. And this paper in the back here, and you see that purple swirly paper, that came from an old stack that I have from Cloud9, and it has Halloween, Christmas, and fall paper in it. So it came from that stack right there. It's a thinner paper. It's not real heavy, which I thought was great for putting on the inside cover of the book. Okay. And then on this page, I stamped some more of the Hero Arts stamps from that same set right there. I stamped that at the top, and then took another section of the label paper in here, cut it out, and left it open so that you can slide a picture in there, or a card for journaling, or whatever you want to slide in there, you can slide in there. There's some more of the spell book pages. You can either put a photo on there or leave it as it is if you want. And then here's another spell book page. It spreads across too. Just took some Recollection gems there, laid them on, and some gems up there. And when I bound the pages to the book before you put the spine on, the way I did it was with some twine. So I just put 2 holes and some twine up there. And this is the twine, and I got that from Tuesday Morning, I believe, last year. And then just tied a bow in it. Again, I wanted to make it look like it was old and rustic. And then another page there. That was just the page, and I just printed these out on my printer and then inked them up with Tim Holtz. Now on this page, I first stamped it with, again, that same stamp set down at the bottom there is that spider web right there. I put a, that's a Jolie's Boutique scrapbooking embellishment. I put there, cut out another one of those labels from that paper pad. And then I have a Tim Holtz memo pin, I think is what they're called, there, and I just made up a tag of my own, which is like this. Same thing that is on the front of the package that I showed you earlier, except I ran some gems down the inside of this one in my color scheme, which was black, orange, and purple. So you could either keep that in there or not, that's up to you. And you could put a photo behind there too if you wanted to. And then there's the last page of the spell book. And then I made another tag, holder and tag for in here. So there's the tag holder and there's the tag. And that's just a dollar stamp that I got from Joann's, I believe. It's that one. So there's a little memo area for you, a button on the top and a button on that side too. Now for those papers, the tag itself came from this DCWV stack, and the spider paper came from this card stack, which I believe I got from Hobby Lobby. And there's the back. So that is the spell book itself. I'm super excited on how this turned out with all the inking and stuff like that. Now for the charm itself, this is the charm, and I'll see if I can zoom in a little more for you guys. Okay, so we were to use a Tim Holtz swivel clasp, which I did. Now I did remove the chain from it because the chain that came with it is a darker chain, and the charm and metal pieces that I wanted to use on this were a silver and a non-antiqued one. So I tried it with it on there and it looked funny, so I wound up taking it off and restringing it with separate chain, a different kind of chain. So what I did was, you'll notice that there are actually 3 chains on here that things are chained from, and I did that because the first time I did it with the 1 chain and it looked very clunky. So this actually flows so much better this way, and I borrowed that from Pat, and she's another swapper here on Life is the Scrap Beach. So thanks for Pat for passing that along. But I took that from her to hang multiple chains off of it to make it flow so much better. So we'll try and go through, if I can separate this, the different strands that I have on here. Now the first one that I have on here is this one. So there's 2 glass beads, purple one and that orange one, and then this charm that I got that hangs off the end of it. I thought that was cute. And then the next strand would be this one. And this is probably my favorite dangle on here, just because I love this black bead, and I got that bead from Michaels. So I have 2 shiny purple glass beads, this bead, and then some bead caps. And this is just a little pumpkin, a little charm pumpkin that hangs off the end of it. And then this one. And then there's this purple one, and I have some purple seed beads on that one, and another bead cap. And then that one. And then the next strand is this one, and it has a lot of the charms on the center one. So these are the charms off of that one. So this one's much like that orange one. And then it has a spider web charm off the end of it. And then this one is a glass pearl with 2 orange pearls on it. And then this is one of those little jars, and I just threw some glitter in it, some purple glitter to match the color scheme. Love this one, this big black bead. Got that from Michaels too, and a square. That's some fascination right now with square beads and square end caps. But that's a square bead cap. And this one. Now, we were to have glass beads. This is the only one that is not a glass bead. It just looked like an orange pumpkin, and I thought it would be great to add to it. And then all the rest of my beads, though, are glass or stone. There's another one. And I like this one. This one's unique, too. It's round purple. And these spacer beads here remind me of pumpkins. And then I thought these were cool. I saw these on eBay. They're little skulls, and they're made out of stone or something. I'm not exactly sure, but they are not plastic. And then I love these bead caps too that have the gems in them. So that one was super cute. And this was the last strand right here. So here's another charm, a bat, and a square purple glass bead. And there's this one. And this one has the glass pearl in the middle, the two glass beads off the end, and two of the gemmed bead caps on it. And then there's the final one. So, I love how the charms came out. Love how the book came out. One last thing I wanted to share with you is a thank you gift that I made for Crystal. These are 3 of the flowers that I made in the spell book that I made. And I made them in the Halloween colors of green, black, and orange. And then I also made matching pins for them too. So Crystal, this is for you as a thank you for all your hard work in organizing this swap. I had an awesome time. Thank you. Hope you guys enjoy it. Again, sorry that it's a little bigger than I had anticipated it to be, but I think it turned out super, super awesome. So, go ahead and leave a comment if you like on my YouTube site. I do appreciate it when you guys take the time out of your busy schedules to leave comments. And do visit me on my blog at www.totallytwistedcards.com to see more of my crafty projects, including other charm swaps. I do have one more charm swap coming up that I'm participating in. I chose to do the sewing fashion one, and that one's due November 1, so I'm going to immediately start working on that one as soon as I'm done filming here. So you guys have a great Totally Twisted day. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.